Yeah, here we are at the Essex Fight Academy, and I'm going to be interviewing Daryl Privett, one of my fighters. Daryl's a little bit different maybe in profession to a lot of the boys. So Daryl, what do you do? What's your living?
Now I'm an educational I've got an agency. Prior to that, for 10 years I was a teacher.
First met Daryl in Scribbling Tattoo Shop. And I remember Daryl turned around to me and said that he would love to box, and you hadn't boxed or anything like that. So
no,
he was a DJ.
That's it, yeah.
And give us a bit about your DJing, club DJ?
Yeah, club DJ. I've been DJing for years. I was on radio for a long time, been up and down the country DJing really. I still do it a lot now.
Give us a bit about your fight record. How many fights have you had now?
4.
And record?
Well, this will be my 5th. I suppose technically lost 1.
Okay.
My shoulder came out twice in my last fight, as you remember.
Yeah.
That came out in the second round. It's a fight that I was winning.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, these things happen. Shoulder came out, and I've just sort of, just back on the horse.
Tell me why you fight.
People have their bucket lists and they want to tick things off. I've done the marathon, done it. Skydive, done it. Boxing, I wanted to do and get in the ring and do it. And got in there, and enjoyed it so much that I just sort of continued. The money that I get from it, I give to charity. Yeah. So it's a continuation thing for me. I enjoy it. The buzz is unbelievable.
That's the buzz.
And the training gets rid of the derby and all that.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of IBA Boxing. Fantastic fights brought to you by Alan Mortlock here from the City Pavilion. And first fight of the night is Daryl Privett in the white trunks with the red surround up against Galvin Reynolds in the black trunks there. My name's Vic Marchant, and welcome to another night of IBA Boxing coming here from the City Pavilion. So should be an interesting fight this between these two lads. Daryl Privett, you saw in the interview earlier, was a teacher, and he's now using his skills in the boxing ring up against Galvin Reynolds, this awkward opponent. Referee tonight is Mark Potter, the Great White Shark, recently retired from the ring. So Daryl Privett looking to take out Galvin Reynolds. Galvin Reynolds, the taller of the two, holding back that right hand, but he's been roughed up a bit by Daryl Privett at the moment. All a bit untidy, but some good shots there from Daryl Privett, connecting there to the head of Galvin Reynolds. Quite a fast and furious start. Probably want to sort of calm down slightly and think of their ring skills. What can Privett do here to take out this awkward opponent? He's going for sort of big shots at the moment, and that could tire him out. 3 or 4 big shots, being roughed up a bit here by Galvin Reynolds on the ropes. All a bit untidy, and Mark Potter stepping in to separate the two of them. Asking Daryl Privett to keep his head up. Leaning down a little bit too much when these shots come in. Now being wrestled on the ropes. Good shot there from Privett. 2 or 3 shots. Big rangy shots there. That was the end of round 1, and on to round 2. Daryl Privett up against Galvin Reynolds. So what's going to be the approach of Daryl Privett in this round up against Galvin Reynolds? Might have to just be a little bit more controlled in his boxing. He's been doing a lot of wild swings in that first round. Probably took that first round. Galvin Reynolds very much in this game at the moment. Leading with that left jab. So far hasn't been troubled by anything from Privett. Holding his own. Very awkward style. Galvin Reynolds reaching out with that left jab. Privett on the retreat, grabbing him around the waist. Big shots from Daryl Privett. He really wants to connect with Galvin Reynolds. So far not much luck. Galvin Reynolds got the longer reach, just stepping back every time. So Privett's missing with these wild swings, these big shots. Maybe he should try and sort of box his way through this fight as opposed to going for the big knockout punch. The two of them trading, and Galvin Reynolds, this awkward opponent, tying up Daryl Privett. Galvin Reynolds, one of these type of opponents that doesn't make you look good. Both of them a little bit tired, even though it's only round 2, having a bit of a stroll around the ring while they size each other up for another big attack. If I was Privett, I would just take a bit of a breather, and again he's gone for the big swing, and these have got to be tiring him out because the air shots, they keep missing, and that's going to tire him out. Another big swing, missing again. corner, shouting at him to remember what he learnt in the gym. Galvin Reynolds, he's got the longer reach. All he's got to do is step back, so when these big shots come in, they're being telegraphed, and good stuff from Galvin Reynolds. Privett on the retreat there. Really, Galvin Reynolds can just step in when he wants, bang, 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 with that long jab, and then get out again. Privett's going for the big bombs. Let's just see some action again where Privett gets him in the corner. Good attack, though, by Daryl Privett. Almost connected. Paul Vash, the trainer there, what's he going to be saying to Daryl Privett? Moving on to round 6. The previous rounds, 3, 4 and 5, were much of the same. So now we're on to round 6, the final round. Who wants this the most? Both boys, incredibly tired, especially Daryl Privett, whose stamina's really suffered in this fight. Early on, going for those big, big shots that weren't connecting. And really, Galvin Reynolds at the moment has got more energy, poking out that jab, keeping Daryl Privett back. Privett really wants to go out with a bang. He wants to take Galvin Reynolds out. Another big swing. These connecting better from Privett, but being wrestled again by this awkward opponent, Galvin Reynolds, who turned his back there. Chance there for Privett. Bang, he was going for it with the uppercut. That's better from Privett in this round. Doing much, much better. Galvin Reynolds tiring a bit, tying up Daryl Privett. Referee Mark Potter waving the boxers on. So what can Daryl Privett do in this final round? See if he can take the decision, because there's nothing in it. All it needs is a big finish from either of these boxers and they could take it. But at the moment it's Privett who's providing most of the pressure in this fight. Good shot there from Daryl Privett, but it's all a bit desperate at this stage. Needs to take a deep breath. All he's got to do is land one big one. So he's studying this very carefully. Galvin Reynolds on the move all the time, poking out this jab with very little effect at the moment. Big shot again from Privett that missed, and again missing all the time. That one connected. You can't fault these two boys for effort and entertainment, because they've really had a go in this fight. Privett looking for one last big attack. Big shot that missed, and really there was nothing in it with those two boys. Privett just wasn't controlled enough to land the big shot, and Galvin Reynolds kept him at bay for most of the fight. And it's over to Billy Nicholson, and it's a draw. Well, let's see what Daryl Privett had to say when he speaks to John H.
Very hard-fought contest.
It was difficult, I'll be honest with you. My opponent changed at the last minute. I was training for a different fighter. It's one of them things. Got a draw out of it, we'll have a rematch and I'll win the next one, no problem.
Well, did you find 6 rounds comfortable enough?
No, I'll be honest, I didn't, because I underestimated the opponent. Again, I haven't even looked at him before. Do you know what I mean? I was looking at someone completely different. It changed things up, that's boxing.
Hard-fought draw, but
yeah.
Next one will be the championship again.
That'll be the win, yeah.
Good for you.
Lovely, thank you very much. Cheers.